Magandang umaga po mga kaibigan. Welcome to our Wednesday Roundtable at Lido. Alam po ninyo, pag nagpo-forum kami rito, laging, ewan ko, paano ko di-describe eh. Yung second edition namin dito, noong 2016, was 12 hours after the tribunal decided on the case dun sa South China Sea. So we also had a full pack of resource persons. Ngayon, hindi ko akalain siseryosohin ng Malacanang yung sinabi na magsiserve ng notice sa US Embassy. At yun ang binanggit ni Senator Kita at sa isang forum dito rin na hindi na kailangan magkaroon pa ng kung ano transition. Just serve the notice and that's it. So they serve the notice, all right. Now we will talk about the implications. In the first place, what's the decision of the government to the best interest of the country? Yung ba? At yung matagal nang ipinagrarally ng kaibigan ko si Renato Reyes, nagkatotoo na. Pero ano ba talaga? Ayan. Today, we have Professor Clarita Carlos. She is the former president of the National Defense College of the Philippines. Former Senator Kit Tatat used to be the chair of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations. Of course, hindi na kailangan pakilala pa si Ginoong Renato Reyes sapagkat halos araw-araw nakikita ko to sa kalye. At kamakailan, nagkaroon ng problema sa Fisher Mall. Dahil lang sa may isang abusadong mama na inabi yung kanilang anak. Okay. Si dating Member of Parliament Bono Adaza at dating Immigration Commissioner, and of course, Professor Mel Badlawi is with us. Si Attorney J. Batong Bakal, last minute nagkaroon ng problema, holding yung sasakyan, hinatid muna yung kanyang mga anak sa paaralan. So that's the best a father could do sa kanyang mga supling. So let's start the ball rolling. Ano ba yung Visiting Forces Agreement na ito? Professor Carlos, kayo po ay isa sa mga consultant tungkol sa Visiting Forces Agreement.
Yeah, tama ka, Melo. Ako ay consultant ng 5 taon na ng Visiting Forces Commission. Ang ginawa po namin doon ay ginawa namin yung IRR ng BFA na 16 years late sapagkat ang BFA ay na-ratify noong 1999 ng Senado. Ngunit wala siyang IRR na pwede siyang, yun yung minute points na kailangan sa pag-guide, pag-giya sa conduct ng mga Americans dito when they train and exercise with the Philippine military. Napakalaki yung siguro ang pagkukulang ng explanation, Beto, and sa pamamagitan ng programa mo na ito, ay siguro explain natin just briefly, no? Kung ano yung BFA. Actually, dalawa yung BFA. BFA 1, tungkol sa American conduct here when they exercise, and BFA 2, conduct naman ng mga Pilipino pag nag-exercise sa Amerika. So BFA 1 and 2 yan. Ang BFA ay isa lamang sa tukod ng mutual
problems, more complex solution. I think the abolition of termination of the BFA is insane. And there are many insane things that are being done in this country. Why is it insane? Because the BFA only mentions jurisdiction and offenses created. It's a very lengthy agreement. It's in 8 long bond paper. The mutual defense treaty is only 2 pages, short bond. This one is an expansion of what the American forces, if they do something stupid, they commit crimes, there are mechanisms for trial, for jurisdiction, for confinement, for final imprisonment. It's defined there. Now, what will happen if you terminate the BFA? The Americans are here. They conduct many things. They commit crimes. What are you going to do? Negotiate every time a crime is committed? If there is a wrong implementation of the Mutual Defense Treaty, we have to sit down every time some offenses are committed. BFA is necessary for that purpose. But if we are really interested to eliminate American
Yeah, boy.
presence here.
Yeah, boy.
Why don't we just
Yeah, boy.
terminate the mutual defense treaty and you eliminate everything, including EDCA? EDCA, Security Engagement Board, the Mutual Defense Board, all of this will be eliminated. Our problem in this country is we are not prepared to secure the country from anything that comes from outside. That's our major problem. The leaders have been straighting through decades.
Okay.
They're always thinking themselves, their families, and their political party. They are not thinking of the country.
What political parties are you talking about? There's none.
No, there are political parties in name, nationalista, liberal, PDP. They are nothing. They commit to nothing. They commit only to themselves. So our problem really here is leadership. That's our problem. There will be elections. I hope there will be elections in 2022.
Okay.
There are some people are thinking this. All this can be solved with the new leadership. You have brains in your balls and balls in your brains, as Speaker Laurel says.
Okay.
Said once.
Pinanganak na ba yung magiging leader natin?
We are 110 million. You know, in the times of Marcos, many people were telling me, this country cannot produce another Marcos. I said, what are you talking about? We are 65 million. It's an insult to the Filipino intelligence to say that Marcos cannot be replicated or cannot be surpassed.
Okay.
Because there must be one in every million Filipinos who can compare with Marcos,
Okay.
and probably better.
Okay.
Now we are 110 million. Can't we not produce a leader that could change the system and the whole landscape?
Okay.
I am bullish about the situation. So, simple solution, simple problems. Never mind about if we want to get rid of BFA, of the MDT, of EDCA. Get the right leader.
Okay.
And all these things will disappear.
Very good. We'd like to acknowledge narito si Job Salvador, Secretary General ng Gabriela. What we have to say, Jobs, dito sa pinag-uusapan natin sa BFA, paki-forward lang at hindi ko makikita.
Yeah, nakikinig nga ako eh. Yung visiting forces agreement, while it is true that may problem talaga tayo when it comes to airing US soldiers accountable. And kung i-review o i-terminate ang BFA on those grounds na for the past 2 decades, we've had so many cases of violations, human rights abuses by US military sa Pilipinas. Pero ang problema nga, the BFA also allows for the US military to come in and out of the country. Isang malaking problema talaga dyan. I remember during yung Subic Rape case ng 2005, nung pumutok yan, ang problema talaga, wala naman tayong alam sino-sino ang mga pumapasok na US soldiers sa Pilipinas. Pag merong nangyaring krimen, nakaasa tayo sa US government if they would release yung listahan ng kanilang mga sundalo na nandun sa isang lugar at a particular time. Ganyan din yung problema nung nangyari kay Jennifer Laude. Hindi tayo makapag-exercise ng full jurisdiction kahit pa sabihin natin na pumayag ng US for us to have jurisdiction over particular cases. Hindi na i-exercise yung full jurisdiction yun. And on this basis talaga, it's about time talaga that we recognize the lopsidedness of the BFA on those grounds, at least on those grounds.
Okay. Well, maganda itong napapag-usapan to. Yes, Professor Carlos, would like to say something about it?
Siguro paglilinaw lang, no? Kasi yung IRR naman ay binigay lamang sa concerned agencies at marami yan talaga. PRC, anong tawag nito, immigration, customs, and quarantine, etc. Siguro paglilinaw na hindi natin alam kung ano yung mga, kung nandito sila, kumating sila sa barko at lumipad sila, lumapad na. Alam po natin. Kasi napaka-close ng relationship ng JUSMA, ng US Embassy, alam natin yan. Kanya lang, dahil yung IRR natapos lang namin noon, kaya ako sinasabing namin, kasi nga kasama kami dun sa pagbalangkas noon, noong June 2016. At hanggang ngayon, ay nire-refine pa namin yan ang tinatawag namin sub-IRR Melo. Ibig sabihin, sinusundan namin ang Marines, ang Navy, etc. ano gagawin natin to? Kasi lahat yun hinihimay namin. Kasi pinapacilitate ko to every week eh. Kung okay, anong gagawin mo kung nangyari to? Dumating ang barko, may dalang medicine yan, ano yung laman yan? To be fair to the Americans, bago pa lang sila umalis sa Amerika, hingin mo na yung listahan. Hindi yung pwedeng pagdating nila dito, saka mo lang hihingin. Sinasabi lang naman nila, you just inform us beforehand that these are the data you want. But there are also security aspects, Melo. Halimbawa mo, ayaw nilang nakalagay yon yung rango ng mga taong nasa loob. So sasabihin lang nila, there are X thousands of military na ganito. Minsan, alam mo, nitty-gritty lang, Romel. Bigyan ko kayo ng isang maliit na example. Yung immigration sa Clark, dumating yung mga katakot-takot na mga American military. Isang tao lang nasa immigration, sabi niya, sus Joseph, nalulunod ako dito. Bakit hindi mo sinabi? Akala ko ilang piraso lang doon darating. Nagkamali sa communication, hindi pala nasabi nung dapat nagsabi, DFA, Chusmag, etc. na 1,000 pala yung darating at iisa lang yung tao. Minsan yun, source of irritation. No? So nasa nitty-gritty yun. And yun talaga ang dapat himayin. Tama lahat ng mga sinabi ninyo around the table. It is really the mutual defense speaking na kailangan mong i-review yun yung nanay eh. Kasi yung tatlo, Security Engagement Board, yung BFA 1 and 2, yung EDCA, ay ano lang siya, parang tripod yan eh. Yung MPT ang talagang i-review mo. And my last point, Melo, the security environment has changed radically. No? I'm sure nagalit si Lorenzana sa akin nung sinabi ko, oy kayo, ang dami-dami nyo, 120,000 kilo, binabayaran namin ng inyong sweldo, etc. You should render yourselves obsolescent kasi parang panahon pa ng Amerikano, ganyan na kayo. Now, ang labanan ngayon is sa cyberspace. And wag na lang puro high school graduate ang inyong nire-recruit, mga PhD so ang i-recruit ninyo and make it cleaner. Di ba? Tama ba? No? Na iba na eh. Iba na ngayon ang ating security situation. And even si Lorenzana, kasi magkasama kami sa Senate meeting last week eh. Sabi niya, yung budget ng AFP, 90 to 95% is really to pay the pension and the sweldo, Renato. Saan yung natitira mo, pambili mo ng ano? Palagi ko gusto pa ako, hindi ka makabili niya.
Hindi. Professor, paano increase yung motion para sa pension sa sundalo?
Pero alam mo, mababankrupt sila, that's another matter, no? So, remember, Renato, natandaan mo, tininda yung, Fort Bonifacio. Ang pangalan niya, ang cute-cute, di ba? Parang Bonifacio. Basta may pangalan siya. May pangalan siya, di ba? Bakit ba't walang napepreso kung saan napunta yung pera na yon? Kasi yung pera na yon, pambili ng modernization ng AFP. So, siguro, tama, medyo siguro I'll disagree with you with all due respect to my friend Bono here, no? Complex po yung istorya. At kapag hindi po tayo nagbabasa, medyo maliliko tayo. Parang ginawa mo si De La Rosa yung pivotal actor dito. Hindi.
Hindi ba siya?
No, kasi yung kay De La Rosa sa Magnitsky yun, which is another
Start ko lang
Sige.
Basic question lang po kasi for us. Do we really need the American soldiers in our country? Kailangan ba yung kanilang unlimited, prolonged presence sa ating bansa? We kicked off the bases for a reason eh. Hindi siya beneficial sa atin in the long run. Now, if you're saying we need the Americans as a deterrent against China, ganun ba talaga nag-work yun from 1999 up to the present as the BFA deterred China and prevented it from taking over Scarborough and other parts of the West Philippine Sea? Apparently not. So lumalabas po, hindi talaga deterrent itong presence ng American troops laban doon sa panghihimasok ng China. Tama po si Manong Bono, they have a problem with leadership. If we want to defend the West Philippine Sea, it has to be the job of the Filipinos, the Philippine government. We cannot give it to other entities, to any other foreign superpower. They're not going to defend us. Tayo lang po ang gagawa nun eh.
Nato, are you saying what we need is a widodo?
What we need is strong leadership to defend national sovereignty. Call it a widodo, call it whatever. Pero, ang gusto natin, yung didepensa yung West Philippine Sea at hindi nakaasa sa dayuhan. Yung sinasabi ni Prof. Banlawi, this could usher in a new era. Baka naman ang mangyayari dyan, sana, matututo na tayong tumayo sa sariling paa na hindi tayo masyadong dependent sa mga foreign superpowers. Hindi ba mas maganda yun?
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
Sige po,
Kasi ako yung retort.
Sige. Bago kay Senator
Hindi Renato, sorry,
may tatanong.
nag-agree ako sa'yo. I'm going now the full ranks, actually age rank, dahil ako pinakamatanda sa inyo rito. Bago na kasi yung security architecture. We cannot talk about sovereignty, territory, and all those things, patriotism, nationalism. They're all bad words because economies are now so enmeshed. Therefore, even defending whatever it is are concerned in the South China Sea, hindi natin hinahabol din ng oil or natural gas. Hinahabol natin is that. Yun ang ating concern yan, food security. It's not anything else, it's really food security.
Okay.
So given that, even the Mutual Defense Treaty now becomes, how would you call it, should be rendered obsolescent. Nakita niyo Amerika, pinagalitan niya si Merkel at saka si Macron, si Trump, di ba? Sabi na, oh, bakit kami yung nagde-defense sa inyo dyan sa Europe? Ayaw ko na dyan. You know, NATO is a dead instrument.
Okay.
Ano sabi niya? Ang pakikialaman ko yung backyard ko, Mexico, Canada, all the Americas. Ngayon, ewan ko kung nadinig mo na itong prinsipyo na to, Romel, because you're soaked in this and you're teaching also IR, yung sphere of influence. Nakita niyo yung pivot to Asia, Renato, ng Amerika. Wala namang meet yun eh. Where's the beef? Ika nga. Oh, walang meet yun. Yung under aircraft carrier niya, andun naman ng British, andun naman ng Australia, etc. So, ipanahin na rin natin ang ating pananaw tungkol dito.
Okay.
At we have committed, Melo, nung last interview mo dito, nandito tayo, nandito din si Bono, yung ASEAN Defense and Security Community is supposed to come about in 2025. Ilang hinila lang yun.
Alright.
So even that, ang ating concern, Melo, should be regional concern of the ASEAN.
Okay. Senator, can we survive without America? Bigyan natin kay Kate. Can we survive without America?
We were already there without America.
Long before.
Long before, in fact. If you go back to our origins, we declared ourselves an independent country before the Americans came. And then the Treaty of Paris defined our boundaries and jurisdiction without our participation. No? And that's one of the anomalies for us. Na independent country tayo, according to Makapagal in 1962, pero yung ating meets and bounds were defined by foreign powers without our participation. So,
Okay.
pwede tayo mabuhay. No? But what is the reality right now? I mean, we have to go back to the premises of the MDT. This was concluded at a time when, Cold War, diba? In 51, no?
Hindi ba kami sinisilang ni Renato?
The threat. Communism was the threat, no? And so the agreement was that any attack or threat to attack one party would be considered a threat to the other. No? And ngayon, lumipas yung Cold War. But if you believe the Neil Ferguson historian, the second Cold War is still again. No? And China, unfortunately, I don't want to bash China, represents the other power. Wala na yung Soviet Union, pero nandiyan yung China. The biggest power in the world today is the Communist Party of China, which is running China. So
Okay.
I think this is a reality we must look at. Now, go back to this discussion. I don't disagree with anything that has been said here. No? Dami nating discuss the issue. But none of this has been mentioned by President Duterte as the basis for his cancelling the BFA. The only reason he's cancelling is that the Americans canceled the visa of Senator De La Rosa. This is private matter, which can be attended to by the good senator. Pagka senador, kaya siguro niya ayusin yan sa bahala. Kung personal na problema niya, na hindi kasangkot yung
So hindi kayo naniniwala na pinakadahilan?
Magnitsky Act. Yun. Now, I think the President owes it to us to lay down the basis for his decision to cancel the agreement.
Will he?
No, I mean, if he does not do that, we should force him to do so. It is our right, it's our sovereign right as a people.
Okay.
Well said. Yes, please.
Well, I think yung vision ni Senator Bato is just media lines lang yan. There's a deeper issue on why the President served the notice of termination. Deeper and substantive issue. And makikita mo doon sa review na nang kakandak. But I think, ang reading ko dito sa notice of termination of the VFA is not only a notice of termination. This is an opportunity to redefine and reinvent our relationship with the United States. US as a country is changing. The world is changing. Our relationship with China has changed. Our relationship in the region has changed. We also have to change our relationship with China. I think this is an opportunity to redefine our relationship with the United States. And now, I am quarreling with my friends in Washington, D.C. about, they said, they are calling us former territory. And I told them, we are not former territory anymore. And don't even call us a former territory. They still have this fixation about us as a former territory, as young American brown blood, a former colony. No, things have changed. And
Buti na hindi na little brown monkeys.
yeah. Kaya nga, I think this is an
But we were
opportunity.
a former colony for 50 years. So
Correct, that's-
historically, ano yun?
But
Oo.
our mindset should go beyond that kind of narrative. We have to adopt a new narrative that will redefine our relationship with the United States. Of course, we will not quarrel with the US. We still need the US the way we need China, Japan, Australia, and other countries. But I think all these kinds of relationship will be defined not by our relationship with the United States, but with our relationship with the Filipino people. And the defining feature will be our new concept of national interest, because the world is changing. So we
Okay.
really have to change the way we deal with other countries like the United States.
Okay, yes,
I
Bana.
like the perspective.
I cannot help smiling at Professor's observation that the world is changing. The leadership in the world in many countries has not changed. Look at America. America first, Donald Trump. 1956, here in the Philippines, the president was Carlos P. Garcia. He said, Philippines first. It has not really changed. He also says, make America great again. 1965, when Marcos became president, he also said, let's make the Philippines great again. Nothing much has changed. The problem with us is we are really prisoners of the mind. Something has got to change in the thinking of Filipinos. And the first thing that should change in the thinking of the Filipinos to solve all these problems is system change. System in the mind. That should change because we are all prisoners of our mind. And the
Okay.
test of a good leader is he who can break the change with the environment. The environment in the mind first.
Okay, I saw the press conference of Vladimir Putin and Angela Merkel. And it was during that press conference when Angela Merkel said, we have our own national interests, but we have to find common grounds where we can agree and work as a team. Yung gano'n ang sistema. Pero nato, pwede ba yun?
Pwede naman po yun. I think ang maling thinking is that our national interest is always aligned with a superpower. Ang medyo problematic thinking, yung national interest natin is deemed identical with the interest of a superpower. Hindi naman po pwede yun. Iba naman yung interest ng Pilipino sa West Philippines. Iba yung interest ng Pilipino na pangalagaan yung ating territorial integrity at hindi dapat yan haluan ng agenda ng ibang superpower.
Okay.
Pero
Yes,
siguro nagbago, maganda yung mga sinight ni Bono sa kasaysayan. Ang nagbago ngayon ay technology. Ang nagbago ngayon is ang demographics, na talagang ito ay ang century ng mga millennials, ng mga young. No?
Tayo, alien yan eh.
So, hindi naman sinasabi natin na tayo mga elderly ay baliwala na lamang. No, pero makinig din kayo kasi nakita na namin yung mga lubak at sinasabi namin sa inyo na huwag na kayong magdaan yan. Why is this important? Because the millennials are students in the university. They are being trained to be citizens of the world. They are being trained to really think post-Westphalia, which is the nation state. That is the reason why hindi ba nag-commit nga tayo sa ASEAN, Economic Community, Defense and Security Community, and all those things. Because we want to think beyond the borders. And therefore, that is the thing that has changed. If you talk about the leadership, ngayon sa 2022, kailan ba tayo magboboto? Parang May 2022. The millennials constitute majority of the 54 million eligible voters. Kayo mga millennials na nandito sa audience ngayon, you can change the world. Pero, tulad sa Brexit, huwag kayong magtamad na hindi magpunta sa polling polls sa inyong at magboto dahil wala kayong karapatang mag-complain kung meron ng resulta. So, nasa kamay ninyo ang kinabukasan eh. Kami, timitingin na lang kami ngayon sa maiksing future, no? But it's really the millennials who will shape our direction. And tama sa Romel. Mabuti nga nangyari itong memo dahil ngayon, ayusin na natin yung trato natin sa US, sa China. Alam mo yung balikatan, Romel? Nag-iba na siya eh. Hindi yung dati na you train together to fight together. No. There is no enemy now. Kaya HADR palagi, humanitarian assistance. So ang enemy
Disaster
ngayon,
response.
the consequences of climate change. No? So ako talagang hinayang ako, Melo, kasi yung IRR na ilang taon na binubuno, hanggang ngayon binubuno ng sub-IRR, gagamitin niya ng Russia, ng Vietnam, ng Japan. Ang Japan nga last year, nandiyan na eh. At gagamitin din ng Australia na meron din tayong status of forces agreement. So, yun nga, siguro, sabi nila sa isang interview ko kanina, meron na marami daw nagsabi kay Duterte na terminate na to. Siguro hindi siya nakinig kay Locsin at saka kay Lorenzana kasi iba yung sinabi nitong dalawa nito sa Senate hearing.
So, pwede kayo sa ganung sitwasyon, pwede kayo matanggal yung dalawa?
Kung magsasalita sila, pero kung ayaw nilang matanggap, total, 800 days na lang naman, they should just shut up.
So, you've already begun the countdown, 800 days?
Yeah, total, sila din naman nagka-countdown eh. And sabi nga ni Bono, you have a new leadership, andyan sino ba? Si Sara, si Pacquiao, si Bongo. Oy, siguro ma-share ko itong Melo ha?
Are you serious?
Share ko ito Melo. Meron kaming mga junior researchers na nandito si Cristel at saka si tinanong ko, nagmi-meeting kami ng Monday, Romel. Okay, so it's May 2022 and you are going to elect a new president. Can I go around the table and ask you whom you are going to vote for? And then I gave names. Alam mo lahat sila, hindi sila boboto. And these are, yes. And that is so concerning, Melo. Imagine, these are students in their 20s from Ateneo and UP, these are our researchers. And lahat sila na tinanong ko nung Monday, hindi boboto.
Disillusion.
Okay.
Kasi wala
Bono,
nang iboboto.
disillusion ba? Tatanong ko kay
You
Johnson.
know, with due respect to Planita, I hope also that the youth of this country will intervene in the choice of leaders and not change of systems. But the evidence does not point to that direction. Even in the United States of America and many areas in the world, look at the ages of the leaders of the world. Mahathir is 95, 95. Duterte is 73. Trump is also in the 70s. Merkel is also.
A bit younger.
Putin is also there. The only one who is young in the world is the president of Ukraine, who is a comedian. No? The president of Ukraine.
Si Macron is young.
Yeah, Emmanuel Macron.
Oh, and Trudeau.
Of France. And Trudeau, Christian Trudeau. But they are not creating so much waves in the world. It's people like Trump, Mahathir, who are creating waves around the world. Merkel, creating waves around the world. Putin, creating waves around the world. I hope the millennials in America will intervene in the choice of leaders of 2020 because at the rate they're going, Trump will be reelected. Unless Pete Buttigieg, and he's gaining grounds in many areas. He's the young, interesting personality in the United States of America that can become a leader.
Okay.
In our country, there are, if the Congress were to be engaged of the kind of leadership that will emerge in the country, I'm afraid that the future is dismal. But if we
Why?
very
You have bright guys on the Senate.
dismal, very dismal. But there are also silver linings in the clouds. The silver lining, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
in Metro Manila, is Vico.
Of Pasig.
Of Pasig. It seems to me that his mind and his heart is in the right place. The decisions that are discussed publicly that Vico has made, can produce reports.
So, walang camera, katulad ni
Wala kami
Moreno.
hindi katulad ng
Maynila.
yung pangalan ng Manila.
Cisco.
O Dumaguso.
Oo.
Katulad ni Dumaguso. You know, the problem with us as a people is we elect people who have a lot of hot air.
Okay.
A lot of hot air.
Okay.
So many things in the mouth, but nothing in the head. It's about time that we in this country elect leaders who have something in their head and something in their heart.
Oh, ano ba hahanapin mo? Yung best and brightest are the Senate.
Sus Melo. You must be talking of a different world. Because if you're talking
Oh,
of
they're talking of-
intelligence, commitment, vision, they are television but not vision. No vision. But television, yes, there's a lot of television.
Yeah.
I remember very well, no, the best legislature in the whole country, pardon me for my bias, no, is the regular Batasan Pambansa. But even the regular Batasan Pambansa, you know, in a committee of 15, you call a meeting of the committee. The only ones who are present are the chairman of the committee, sometimes he's been absent, the vice chairman, and few other people. You cannot even have a quorum in a meeting that is involving the national
Okay.
interest. But if you have television presence, even if they talk about the weather, everybody is there. So the focus is really
Bono, what
twisted.
more can you ask? You now have 22 deputy speakers at the House. Oh, ano ba ang kailangan mo?
That's why, you know, the future, if you have to depend on the current thinking, is not really secure. Why?
Okay.
Now, let me point out. The present administration created a committee to formulate changes in the Constitution. You know what's their formulation? There will be 400 members of the House of Representatives.
Oh, they have 305 now.
305. If you really want change in this country, you should have clean and lean government. How many legislators should you have? 39. 3 for every region. Because the well-defined region in this country is the one formulated during the time of Marcos. 13, not 18. That's a lot of nonsense. No? That's a lot of gerrymandering. So, we really should focus on the fundamentals in this country. The fundamentals matter a lot. Even on values,
Okay.
on principles, on commitment.
Well said.
Not much there.
Okay.
Sige,
Short action. Yeah,
ano
please.
lang po, we'd like to announce na yung bayan ay magsasagawa din ng 180-day countdown until the termination of the BFA. Mahalaga po na sa susunod na 180 days, babantayan natin ang mga magiging pasikot-sikot, posibleng maneuvers, renegotiation, compromises. Kasi sa amin po naniniwala kami, kung nag-send na tayo ng notice of termination, isagad na natin, ituloy-tuloy na. Huwag na hong umatras, huwag na pong bawiin. It's high time na itong ganitong unequal agreement, matapos
I-assert na natin.
I-assert na natin. So,
Okay.
tuloy-tuloy po namin babantayan yan for the next 180 days until the termination becomes effective.
Really. You know, without reference to Shakespeare, there's something to beware the eyes of much. Anyway, okay. Yes, please.
If we have shifted our discussion to other issues, I'd like to ask my friend Bono Adas if he's aware of reports that in Valencia, Bukidnon, recently, there's a big forum among administration supporters on the future of a revolutionary government. This is in response to your prescription about the new leadership.
I am not aware of that. But if they are thinking of revolutionary government of the current administration, they better jump into the Mindanao deal. Because to begin with, the current administration has no vision of what a revolutionary government should be. It doesn't have the apparatus. Take a look at the members of the cabinet. They are supposed to implement whatever is their thoughts about a revolutionary government. None of them can fit into the mold. There's none. There is no concept introduced by this administration what's going to be the revolutionary government. What are they going to do? Are they going to change system? Are they going to do this or are they going to kill more people?
All right.
We don't know what they're
Yes.
going to do.
Yeah, Professor Carlos.
Yeah, siguro, very quickly on 2 points. Yung revolutionary government, I think I shared with you already 2 weeks ago when I was here, that I have been asked to help in its conceptualization. Ako naman, bilang scholar, ay tutulong ako sa conceptualization kasi tulad ni Pono, I'm concerned about what does it mean kung ano yung produkto na inyong naiisip kung kayo ay magkaroon ng revolutionary government. Kasi kung hindi kayo klaro dito, ay huwag kayong magpunta dyan dahil maraming mga unintended consequences na mangyayari. Siguro, kaakibat nitong discussion natin, Belo, although hindi mo pa natanong is, ano yung damdamin ng AFP dito sa termination? Kasi nga dahil nakasawsaw ako dito ng maraming taon,
Ano ba
ay,
yan?
ang damdamin nila ay mutual exchange of skills, knowledge, and competencies. Halimbawa tayo, di ba, jungle warfare, talagang nangunguna tayo dyan. Natututo yung mga Amerikano dyan. At may mga qualitative measures kami mini-measure din dun sa Restrained Forces Commission. Yung goodwill. The goodwill, kasi hindi lang interoperable na, you know, you're training together, you're exercising together. It's really the friendship between these two militaries, no? At saka lingid din sa kaalaman natin, every time mag-exercise sila sa isang community, Romel, ay nagsiserve din sila sa community na yun, nagre-repair, nag-rebuild ng school buildings, mga
Okay.
bridges. Yan ay lingid sa kaalaman ng sa media kasi hindi naman nila i-report kasi hindi naman sila makakasel ng dyaryo kung ni-report nila yan. But they are all there. The data are there.
Okay.
And therefore, malalim ito talaga. So, mabuti humingi ang palasyo ng impact assessment kasi I hope yung Visiting Forces Commission, meron po kaming datos dyan. At
Okay.
makikita natin,
Hindi mo classified yun? Pwede nyo i-share?
no, they're not. Because they were generated like, yun ang tulong ko sa kanila, Melo eh. I train the researchers kung ano yung i-monitor, how to evaluate, and how to do assessment, no? And there are numbers, and the numbers have stories behind them. Hindi mo siya buong isip.
Okay.
Hindi siya pinita sa papaya, no? So they were generated by the canons of scholarship, by the canons of strict research. And they are there. And if you add the pluses and the minuses, there are more pluses.
Yeah. Okay. Short rejoinder before I open the floor to our colleagues from the media. Yung pulso ng AFP, parang iba nga talaga, no? Kahit na busog yan, pero ang gusto nila, doon sila mag-aral sa Estados Unidos. I heard from some people, naka-schedule na magtungo sa Amerika, sa Beijing napunta. So, preparado na yung English namin, bigla kami mag-aaral ng Mandarin. Pero, looking
I'm
back,
sure, Melo,
yeah.
yung mga mandami kasing nasa kalagitnaan dyan sa Quantico, and they're not just military, NBI natin, AMLAC natin, counterterrorism groups natin, police, they're also training there. Siguro naman ang Amerika, hindi na nang bigla na silang pauuwiin after 180 days. Although sabi nga ni Bono, wala silang legal umbrella to cover their
Okay.
stay, yung PFA 2.
Yeah. Pero I watched the movie Romero about Archbishop Oscar Romero and movie about Pope Francis about the tortures made in their countries. Para lang doon sa sinasabi ni Satur Ocampo eh. Yung ginawang torture sa kanya, yun din ang torture doon sa Latin America. Kung hindi possible na sa Amerika nila natutuhan yung pag-torture. Yun.
Natutunan nila sa British actually.
Yung ano?
Sa
I'd
British.
like to react to Renato
Yeah.
and to Clarita and two things.
Yes, please.
Sabi ni Renato na bayan will monitor the
180 days.
what's going to happen in the next 180 days. Alam nyo, this is unsolicited advice. You concentrate your activities. Stop monitoring the effect. Pikata minuta yan in the general scheme of things. You should concentrate on what you should do between now and 2022 if there will be elections. There will be no election. Concentrate on what you should do if there will be no election. That should be your concentration. Do not waste your energy on this pikata minuta and on what
Professor Carlos is here.
alam mo, the Americans have never learned. They'll never learn from us. They never learned in their defeat in Vietnam. They were devastated in Vietnam. Now in Yemen, they are being devastated together with the British and the French. I don't think they will learn from us. May maraming tao sa mundo na matitigas ang ulo. Maski anong gawin mo pa, you prove to them that black is not white and white is not black. They keep on insisting on the black things that they want to do.
Depende sa bayan yun.
Ha?
Depende sa bayan.
Katulad kanila. Sige na lang.
Okay, with that comment the floor to our colleagues from the media. Yes, ma'am, please identify yourself and then did you come from? Yes, yes, please.
Hello po, Shara Zambrano from ABS-CBN. I'm just going back to Kit's observation kanina na the exact motivation for the termination is unclear. There are some groups who are saying that this is all just about he got pissed because his best friend got his visa cancelled. There are others who are saying this is far more sinister and this is actually a very strategic move to get the US out of the way and just open the doors for China completely. So, gusto kong marinig yung yung pananaw nyo. I guess at this point this is a lot of guesswork, but yeah.
Whenever you have simple statements like that, conclusions, simplistic statements, they're dead wrong. Okay, so yeah, I'm sure the president is a very intelligent person. He's a lawyer. And marami kasaysayan yan kung bakit merong mga negative stances versus America. I'm sure alam niyo na yan, Shara. No? Yung natandaan mo, yung bombing sa Davao na mayor pa siya, when the US allegedly spirited the one who was involved in that and through the CIA. Alam na natin istorya niya. Then of course, there's that cute story na hinahabol niya ata si Annalette tapos hindi siya binigyan ng visa. Pero yun nga, siguro mabalik tayo kay Dela Rosa, Melo. Si Dela Rosa kasi ay nandyan sa listahan because of Magnitsky. And yung Magnitsky kasi ay talagang sumampa na yung, hindi naman nag-umpisa yan sa kanila, sumampa na talaga na nag-intrude sila sa ibang bansa na ginawa din natin sa ASEAN. Huwag na natin sabihin kung sino bansa yun ang pinangialaman natin. Because of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Ang sinasabi natin, we have the responsibility to protect our two feet. And that one is a continuing challenge in international law because it is not yet accepted that we are all one humanity and therefore pag may nakita tayong violation nakikita natin, we will have to do something about it. So yung Dela Rosa is in fact apart from the BFA. Ewan ko kung bakit nakapokus yung istorya sa kanya eh. Hindi yan. Kanya nawalan siya ng visa dahil sa Magnitsky.
Ang worry lang namin doon, kasi kung nakapeg yung termination dun sa visa ni Senator De La Rosa and yung alleged intervention ng US or criticism ng US sa drug war, baka magbago pa yung tono sa loob ng 180 days. Baka maging leverage itong termination ng BFA para pahintuin na yung kritisismo ng US doon sa drug war at human rights violations. So medyo komplikado eh kung gano'n ang mangyayari. Kaya kailangan mong bantayan eh, baka mag-atrasan pa sila eh. Now on the question na, yung other military agreements, ito lang naman po, no? Kami, ayaw namin sa BFA. Pero conscious din kami na hindi dapat basta-basta na lang pumasok ang Pilipinas sa military agreements dun sa mga bansa na meron tayong conflict. Kunyari, papasok pa tayo sa military agreement with China, gayong meron tayong conflict in the West Philippine Sea, paano natin pinukpok, kumuha tayo ng bato, pinukpok natin sa ulo natin, medyo komplikado yung gano'n.
Anti-coupling. Anti-coupling, ibig sabihin, nagtitinda-tinda tayo ng saging, pineapple, etc. But yung mga high politics area, ay ibang usapan yun. So, pwede mo mangyari yun, nakita mo.
Pwede po mangyari, pero delikado po yun kung papasok tayo sa gano'n. You have a conflict on the West Philippine Sea and you enter into an agreement with China. What does that make us, di ba? We make us vulnerable. We make ourselves vulnerable.
If you look at realities on the ground, economics will trump politics. Unahin mo yung tiyan mo bago pa yung iba pang konsiderasyon. And therefore, kung unahin mo yung tiyan mo, ang concern natin sa Philippine Sea is food security. Paulit-ulit
hindi na ako makapangisda yung mga mangingisda natin eh. So, I don't think China will allow that, no?
Yeah,
so why enter into an agreement with them?
Yeah, alam mo sinabi ko sa Senate, stop pushing the code of conduct kasi kami ni Romel, kailan ba tayo nasa defense? 1998. Oo, 1998, di ba?
1998 nag-start yan. Yeah.
That was 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, no? And binubuno na natin yung code of conduct na yan. Mag-shift gear tayo, let's go to a low politics area, and let's talk about fish. After all, yan, functional cooperation. Kami ni Romel, meron pang may sinulat ka dyan, may sinulat din ako dyan. Which means, pag nag-shift gear tayo, Si Romel, this will pave the way for mabuting nga nangyari to for a review of all our foreign policy postures, no? And tama si Merkel, whenever our national interest coincides with Japan, South Korea, China, Russia,
We can work
etc.,
together.
let's work together. Yung mga hindi natin pinapagkaunawaan, lagay muna natin sa margins.
Yeah, okay. Senator Kit, do we have the expertise to look into all this very objectively?
Well, kung kakonsultahin natin si Dr. Carlos.
Yung tanong ni Sarah.
Yung tanong ni,
How would you react to
how
that?
would you react to the question?
Is it bato or is it Chinese?
Is it,
Well, I do not disagree with what has been said by Dr. Carlos, except that we have to judge the president on the basis of what he has publicly said.
yes,
I don't want to go beyond that. Matagal ko nung pinag-aralan ng issue ko. Alam mo yung mga lahat ng pinag-usapan natin dito, talagang pumapasok yan. Pero yun ang ginawa niyang dahilan. So, ang obligasyon na sa bayan ay sabihin sa bayan kung ano talaga ito. Para yung konversasyon ay malinaw. Yeah.
Well,
If you focus on the visa of Bato and about China, you're just looking at the surface. You're trivializing the whole issue. There are deeper considerations on why we terminate the PFA. One consideration is we want to redefine our relationship not only with the United States but also with other major powers. I think this is now the trend, ma'am, in international relations. Small states are becoming more confident of their position in the world, that they can wield political influence. And now small states are now dealing with big powers. And this is how we want to deal with big powers. And then the termination of the Visiting Forces Agreement will automatically dissolve the Visiting Forces Commission, but at the same time will create opportunities to create a bigger commission that will address our existing attempt to come out with a similar agreement with other countries. We have with Australia, we're talking with Japan, we're talking with other countries in Southeast Asia. We have template of status of Visiting Force Agreement which we think more advantageous to our position. The BFA, there's no doubt, okay, has a lot of unclear provisions that put the Philippines in a very disadvantageous position.
Okay.
And it benefits the United States. Why? Imagine every time they come here, visa-free, yung kanilang mga equipment, duty-free, and then yung numbers is...
Romel, reciprocal niya, by the way.
Yes,
Nasa
reciprocal.
BFA 2.
Yeah. BFA 2, but we are not using the BFA 2. There are more activities in the Philippines than in the United States. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this will redefine our overall
Okay.
foreign policy.
Good. Yes.
I'll go back to the question, whether what is the reason of the tactic. Our problem is you do not need interpreters for the president. You judge him on the basis of his words. What kind of a president do we have if he needs an interpreter all the time and to paper down his statements? You know, what he says, we should take it at that. He said he's going to terminate the BEP because of Batu's cancellation of the visa. That's it. We should take the president on his own word. Like, for instance, why is he against the renewal of the ABS-CBN franchise? It's because the ABS-CBN has done something to him during the campaign. You should take him at his word. It's an insult to the president to read between the lines or between the lies. It's insult to him.
How's that again?
It's insult to read between the lines or between the lies.
Okay.
It's an insult.
All right. Yes, please, Jobs.
Siguro, it's really beyond us na i-interpret what really is the motivations of the president. It could be both. It could be leveraging something with China, that. It could also be, at the same time, hindi lang yung cancellation ng visa ni Bato, but something about the US, parang it's a message to the US na stop criticizing me on the war on drugs and the human rights violations and press freedom violations. So it could be anything or it could be both. But I think what is really necessary is for the president, ngayon na siya ang nag-issue ng siya ang nag-utos ng issuance ng termination. He owes it upon the people, upon the Filipino people, to really, inumpisahan niya yan, ano ang nasa likod niyan, at ituloy-tuloy nga yung termination. And if this is an opportunity for us to rethink our bilateral relations with the US, if it is an opportunity for us to try to negotiate other military agreements with the US at this point, then so be it.
Okay.
At huwag gamitin ni Pangulong Duterte itong issue ng DFA for whatever political or personal ends niya.
Okay.
Pero
Yeah.
meron ng legal infirmity kasi yung BFA 1 and 2, yung SEB at saka yung EDCA are really protocols. So ang dapat talagang tutukan ay yung treaty. Kasi ano lang yan eh, legs lang yung tatlo eh. So hindi mo pwedeng bakliin mo yung isang leg ng BFA 1 and 2, tapos ano rin yung paano yung SEB at saka EDCA. Diba? Ibig sabihin, after 180 days, whatever that date might be, ang daming mga Amerikano dun sa 5 bases under the EDCA. Wala silang cover. Pag inalisan mo yung
Wala po, they will become parang turista na lang sila sa ating bansa.
Precisely
Wala
our
silang
point. Lalo kayong
protection.
magkakagulo kasi yung mga Americans na yan are helping us with ipasok na naman natin ang China. Pag nakita mo yung location ng EDCA, alam mo kung saan dedicated yung location. So wag na tayong magconwari dyan. You don't need an IQ 140 to know where we are. Let me repeat, we were not forced to undertake these agreements. Napakaraming meetings, debates, negotiations ang nangyari bago nangyari yung BFA, SEB, at EDCA. And kanya namin alam po, nandun kami ni Romel
Okay.
sa DND nung nangyari ito.
Yeah.
So,
Pero may
let's dismiss our mind ng ganon, di ba?
Okay, let me ask Bono, how influential is the United States? Because you saw some Americans before 1986, right?
How influential is the United States of America? Yeah, very influential in the military. And some degree of influence also with the politicians in this country. As a matter of fact, the politicians, especially the one who run for high places, will first try to verify whether the America favors their candidacy. Now, that's how influential they are. But going back to the current discussion, I think interpreting the statement of Duterte is flattering to him. Because based on his behavior in the past 3.5 years as president, pardon me for saying this, I respect the presidency, but he's incapable of strategic thinking. As he keeps on repeating, he should be addressed as mayor. He has not really graduated beyond being mayor. And to read so many things into what Duterte says, I think is either insulting or flattering. Or both.
All right, more questions. Toru. Toru of Daily Manila Shimbun.
From Japanese newspaper. May I ask, after the BFA, which country have highest possibility to have another military agreement with Philippines, or which country do you think Philippines should have an agreement?
Well, last year Japan already, they said it was just observing, but it participated in some activities, mainly because of HIDR. Because the characteristic of the training and exercises already moved to HIDR. So it's no longer military to military. The others who are really so, who really want to train with us are the Russians. When we were in Moscow, Russia really indicated they're also pivoting to Asia, because if you will notice, Russia is so long, it has 11 time zones, and there is also an Eastern Russia. So you'll notice for the first time they have a defense attaché, and that is not an accident. They also really want to train with us. But because we have been training with the Americans, we also buy from them. I remember the first question, Kit, that they asked me when I was in Moscow was, Dr. Carlos, why are you not buying from us? Eh, mas mura yung sa amin. And I said, it's because we're not training with you. We are buying American military equipment because we're training with the Americans. The replacement, we are buying from them. So, yeah, it's not...
Okay.
So these are the considerations. So Vietnam also wants to train with us. It is because the Balikatan et al. Has changed its characteristic. It is now HADR.
We have a status of forces agreement with Australia,
Yeah.
and Australian troops are currently also operating and training in Mindanao. But again, from our perspective, we always have to ask, what is really the need to have so many foreign troops in the Philippines? Is it really in our best interest to rush into another military agreement with another superpower? So that's something that we have to look out for. And remember, all these agreements will have to go through Senate concurrence. So hindi po madali yan. It's not an easy thing. No?
So,
dapat
pabalik ako
debate
with the
dyan.
kind of Senate that we have, don't you think it will pass?
I can't really say, no? I can't really say at this point. Pero magiging intense. I would presume that any military agreement from this point on will have to undergo very intense scrutiny before the people and before the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go on.
My answer to that question is this. It's really dependent on who will be the next leader of the country. If the leader of this country will be traditional, like the current ones and the previous, we can have military agreements of all kinds, depending on their hallucination. Okay, but if the leader of my mind will be emerging as the next leader of the country, forget about military agreements. You have no place here. We should be interested only in the development of this country, in securing our borders, and the good of the Filipino people.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Professor.
Donna is correct, no? Alliances are dead. Now you're really talking bilaterals, and when you talk multilaterals, you're talking about buying and selling from each other. And for that remark in regard to your question, to be fair to the Australians, between 1991, end of the military bases, and 1999, it was really Australia, alam namin ni Romelto, who gave thousands of scholarships to our military. Because suddenly no one can go to the US after 1991. So again, let's not forget our history, no? It was Australians who offered all the military training and education to our AFP.
Kasama po dun si General Palparan, did you know that? General Palparan was a scholar to Australia.
General Palparan was my student, by the way. And yeah, so, but you know, that's how it is, no? The UP produces socialists, it produces Escudero, my student, also it produces sino yun? Sino yung ating...
They produce everybody.
Yeah, they produce everybody. Yeah, it
of
produced the Marcos, it produced the Laurel, it also produced Enrile, it produced, mali po ang sinabi ni Angela Reyes noon, nung galit na galit siya sa akin, sabi niya, alam mo, ayaw ko sa UP, Dr. Carlos, nagpo-produce kayo ng komunista. Sabi ko, ay, wala na pong communist, lahat na po ng tinatawag na communist ay capitalist na po. At tayo lang po ang gumagamit na term na communist, by the way.
By the way, in relation to what you said, he did not say it correctly. Because the one who persuaded him to withdraw support from Iraq is the UP graduate. Is the UP graduate. The one who persuaded, you're looking at him.
Really? Okay, well, that's a nice one. Yes, question, yeah.
A question to Gregory Dorco from TVSAT, a question to Professor Carlos. Ma'am, you said earlier that the BFA is just a protocol. On the other hand, there's a statement from the US Embassy saying that the termination of BFA is a serious step with significant implication. Maybe you could share to us what would be the
Yeah, it's a diplomat test. Yeah, but if you look at the legal personality of the BFA, it came about as Romel and many others around the table has noted in regard to the realpolitik happening at that time, the continuous build-up of China in our exclusive economic zone. At pag kinalkal ninyo ang kasaysayan nito, ay makikita ninyo tayo nang hingi noon ng tulong because yun nga, wala tayong pagkukuhanan ng pera dahil nagastos na nga yung pinagbilhan ng Fort Bonifacio. So, sana, no, pati sa media, wag po natin kalimutan yung mga background, history nito. Dahil iba yung lumalabas sa publiko at iba yung kanila ang information na pinaprocess nila.
Okay.
So, the BFA, let's continue to repeat it, the BFA 1, BFA 2, the SEB, Security Engagement Board, the EDCA, they are legs of the NDP. Ganyan yan troika. Hindi mo pwedeng bakliin yung isa, and itong dalawa, paano na yan? What is going to decide the conduct of Americans in the 5 military bases? Sabihin nyo nga, it is the BFA. Basahin niyo yung IRR. Ang kapal nun kasi, we call it a blue book because ang cover niya blue, no? And memorize ko na yon. Memorize ko na talaga
Blue book sa waiting, ibulin.
Ganon. Pero ang tawag namin ito kasi blue yung cover niya. Ano ba ibig ibig sabihin nun? Anyway, siguro because it is a public document, Melo, sa susunod mo siguro pagsusuri nito, dalhin po ninyo yung IRR kasi nandun yung nitty-gritty ng how the Americans should conduct themselves. Later on, how the Russians should conduct themselves when they are here. So, tama ang lahat dito. Ang BFA, itong nangyari na to, ay isang malaking channel, opportunity for us to really rethink and re-architecture our defense and security concerns.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Question po for Prof. Romero. May isang political analyst na nagsabing, aside from China, ang isa pang pwedeng mag-benefit sa BFA abolition ay ang ISIS and its affiliates in the Southeast Asian region. Do you believe there is that threat, sir?
It's not true kasi we are relying on the United States. We can defeat ISIS, we can deal with China even without the United States. In fact, after the BFA, we'll broaden our options. We have a lot of options now. Options with Australia, options with Japan, options with other major powers. So, thinking that US will solve our problem, it's no longer the trend of the current times. Even without, in fact, with American presence, it attracts ISIS. It attracts ISIS because the friend of the enemy of ISIS will be the target of ISIS. In fact, because ISIS is here because of the United States. They are anti-American and the ISIS. And then China, I think China will be happy to see the United States lessening its influence in the Philippines. But that doesn't mean we will be influenced by China. China is just one of the factors. But I think what Duterte is trying to demonstrate now is that we are asserting a more independent foreign policy. We are broadening our options, and our option is not limited with the United States.
Sir, is it safe to say na dahil mawawala na yung US presence, mas luluwag ang pag-target sa atin ng ISIS?
No. It's up to us. It will lessen the interest of ISIS to target us because the US is no longer here. Because they want to target American persons, and that is also the motivation for the United States to help us in the Marawi siege. Yeah, because if they have a foothold in the Philippines, it will be against American interest. Having a foothold here. That's why. So don't simplify the issue that. After the BFA, ISIS will benefit or China will benefit. It's not accurate.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
accurate.
Sir, follow
Wala.
up lang po. Okay. Sir, pero sir, di ba, nabanggit niyo rin po in the past na yung if it really will parang mag-less ng attraction sa ISIS, pero hindi pa yung na-form na yung parang jihad sa Mindanao. So ano ho yun? Aalis na, pwede nilang iwan na yung Mindanao?
The ISIS?
Opo, gano'n.
No, they will not leave. They will stay here, and that is why we're talking with our neighbors in Southeast Asia to jointly defeat the problem. You know, so the reason why they are attracted to establish their presence in Mindanao because they are welcomed by the locals, and there's also a strong anti-American sentiments in Mindanao. Okay, so they have like-mindedness, and they consider the Philippines as a very good venue to continue their jihad. So if the US will leave, it will lessen their motivation to come here because the target will be lessened.
But wouldn't they feel safer without the Americans?
Of course, they will feel safer with us. That's why we have to deal with other countries to drive them away. The US is not the sole guarantor of our security. And I think that's the
So
message.
you're counting on Indonesia, Malaysia, and
And other countries, gone is the day that we rely on the United States.
Okay.
Now it's the time to rely on ourselves and rely on ourselves on how to deal with others to jointly address these common threats. And the common threat is not only terrorism. The common threats are spread of diseases, climate change, transnational organized crime. We cannot solve this problem alone. We need the help of other countries to solve this. And these countries are not only limited to the United States. The
Okay.
US is just one.
Okay. Yeah, follow.
I'd like to say that I'm a Mindanaoan, professor, with you guys, and we are not anti-American.
I'm referring to the extremist.
You're referring to the MILF.
Yeah.
And the BFF. And they constitute a
Correct.
tiny majority.
That's correct.
In the island. Second, I don't think the scrapping of the BFA will have any effects on the ISIS in the future in the Philippines. Because the ISIS, the concept of the ISIS is universal caliphate. In areas where they think it's fertile for them to spread the gospel, they'll be there. And insofar as the Muslim area in the Philippines is concerned, the Muslim majority is tailored along the same lines as the ISIS. Yes, you can see that in the Middle East and in many other places. And, you know, our main problem really is here in relation to what we're discussing. Philippine leadership then and now is reactive. It's not proactive. We are always reactive. We react on situations. We do not do things in the light of what is the interest of our country and project it years ahead.
Okay, yes, pahabol.
Tanong ko si Professor Carlos, sinabi mo kanina that historically the roots of the existence of the BFA ay nakatali sa sitwasyon sa China. What can you say about the fears that are going around that scrapping the BFA is completely exposing the Philippines to the whims of China?
I don't think that's an acceptable conclusion because Xi Jinping, if you content analyze his speeches, he will keep on harping on two things: shared values, shared future. That's the reason whenever Romel and I are in China or we're dealing with our counterparts, usually academics too, we keep on telling them, the artificial islands that you built over our reefs, you destroyed our reefs within our EEZ, turn them into research stations. If you're really talking about the shared future, turn them into the research stations for our marine scientists, our oceanologists, and the like. And the South China Sea rival claims, they will not be solved by politicians, by diplomats, they will be solved by scientists. And basahin niyo po yung paper ko, paper ni Romel on the functional route of the South China Sea. So, pag nag-iba tayo ng perspektiba, we will notice that China is also interested to share the fish. Kasi nung tinanong ko sa talagang tahasan, di mo ba alam pinanganak yan sa Paramount? Bakit maski isang istang di mo kami pinapashare? You know, of course, in mas magandang salita. But exactly, essentially, gano'n lang sinabi ko.
Okay.
So, ang ibig sabihin, total, you're talking about shared values. You're talking about shared future. Why are we not also sharing resources?
Alright.
And if I were China, it is not in the interest of China to quarrel with anybody. Pag kayo po ay nagtitinda, huwag mong inaawa yung titindahan mo. Diba? So, economics will always trump politics.
Okay.
O, andyan na yan. Pero unahin mo yung interest ng tiyan mo. And it's not the oil, it's not the natural gas, it's the fish.
Ano na po, dagdag lang po. Ulitin lang po namin na yung BFA, hindi naman talaga siya totoong deterrent laban sa China. Hindi po napigilan ng BFA nung pangangambkam ng China sa West Philippine Sea, sa Scarborough Shoal. So pag nawala yung BFA, ang tanongin natin, may nawala ba sa atin? Kasi kung hindi naman pala siya talaga deterrent in that sense, wala naman talagang nawawala sa atin. Now, the challenge is, anong gagawin ngayon natin on our own? How can we be self-reliant? At paano natin tutulungan yung ating sarili na depensahan yung ating West Philippine Sea, yung ating exclusive economic zone. Yun ang dapat natin pag-isipan.
Okay, very good.
Sir, do you share the same?
Yeah, tama si Rene doon kasi yung termination ng BFA, konektado yan sa breakthroughs that we're having with China. Ang daming breakthroughs ngayon na that China is no longer considered to be a threat like in 1995. Ang daming breakthroughs. So we are talking about joint development in the West Philippine Sea. Sa halip na China lang makinabang doon, makinabang na rin tayo. We're talking about joint environmental protection, marine environmental protection, not only in the West Philippine Sea, but also covering other countries, other areas of the South China, like Paracel, including Paracel. Then joint fishery management, and joint search and rescue operation. Tapos sa binabalangkas na COC, it will not only be bilateral but multilateral. And China, the Philippines is the country coordinator of China-ASEAN relationship right now. And we are leading a lot of discussion in this area, converting the South China Sea into an area of competition to an area of cooperation, peace and prosperity. And itong tingin nila, this is the thinking of China. As long as the US is there, the US will complicate all these initiatives. Because US has a larger strategic agenda on why it does not want to lead the area. Okay, and right now there's now a rethinking in the region about the role of the United States. US failed China to stop constructing artificial islands and even taking over of the Scarborough. Where is the commitment of the United States in the region? Where is that? So US failed to deliver its commitment. Now, then we have no choice but to deal with China.
Okay,
So we are dealing with China.
The question, Senator Kit, can we trust China?
Yes and no. Depends on where our interests lie.
Okay.
We have to define our own interest para ipagtanggol natin. Kung tayo maliligaw dyan, ay talagang ililigaw din tayo.
Okay.
Malaking mas.
Let's just be smart about it.
Alright. Pahabol, last question. Sige.
Parang alis na sinabi. Let's say we go by the president's word that he is scrapping the VFA because of what the US did to them. We know that you've been fighting the VFA for years, and we've heard your arguments extensively. Kung ganun nga, kung ganito lang yung dahilan kung bakit niya pinatanggal yung VFA,
Acceptable ba sa inyo?
okay lang ba sa inyo na ganito yung basahin?
May problema kami doon sa binabanggit or ini-invoke na basis, which is basically in defense of bato and in defense of the drug war. If you get down to it, it's really in defense of the drug war. So, ang pangamba namin dyan, if the reasons are such, baka mabago pa. Ang pangamba namin, kung ganyan lang ang dahilan, baka sa loob ng 180 days, magbago. Paano kung binalik yung visa? Paano kung binawasan yung criticism sa drug war? Baka magbago. So, yun ang kailangan bantayan. It has to be more than bato. It has to be more than yung drug war. The reasons for scrapping the BFA should be based on national sovereignty and national interest, not on the personal interest of the senator.
Pero kung gano'n nga, if he doesn't change, kung ito talaga yung dahilan, and if he doesn't change, tuloy-tuloy niya itong other things, will you still stand behind this?
Well, kami, as a matter of principle, we will have to stand behind the scrapping of the BFA because we have been fighting for that for the longest time. Now, magkaiba kami ng dahilan on why we oppose it. And history will be the best judge on what the outcome will be after the scrapping of the BFA.
Alright, maganda yan. Hindi nyo kaya nakikita yung senaryo na ibubulgar ng Amerika yung mga Pilipino may heated wealth sa Amerika?
Patay sila.
Nasa Magnitsky.
Ha? Ano kaya? Yes, kung meron.
Part na rin siguro ng review ay reviewin nila
Kung
ang
nasa
mga
NPT list sila
unintended
na,
consequences
meron.
nito. At sana ay yung mga pinabayad nating sweldo dyan sa National Security Advisor, sa TND, at lahat ng mga so-called security experts ay magbunga naman. Kasi mukhang ayaw nila magbigay ng memo kay President. Actually, memo pag nandun ko sa Senate hearing, ibang-iba ang sinabi ni Locsin at ni Lorenzana. Ibang-iba. Ang sinabi ni Locsin ay mawawalan tayo ng, what's the number? 18 billion ba, Chara? Oo. At sinabi naman ni Lorenzana, ang kailangan i-review yung MDP. Ngayon, kanina tinanong ni Melo bakit hindi sila nagsasalita. Siyempre mawawalan sila ng posisyon the moment kontrahin nila yung presidente kasi political appointee nga sila eh. So, if they know which side of the bread is buttered, they should just shut up until June 30, 2022.
Okay, final words. Very briefly, anong kinabukasan natin? Let's start with Joms. Ano nakikita nyo kinabukasan ng Pilipinas with or without BFA?
It all depends on how our country's leadership and the people really stand up to our sovereignty and assert mutual benefit, mutual respect sa kahit anong foreign relations. Yung dito sa pag-terminate ng BFA ni President is just parang isa pa lang to. Mahaba pa to, marami pang pwedeng mangyari. We think as a people, we really need to be vigilant and really push for a more independent and favorable foreign policy.
Yung pagsiserve yung notice sa embassy kahapon was strategic because of yung tingin ng tao kakaiba dun sa hindi pag-renew ng franchise at pag-co-warrant laban sa ABS.
Ano ba yan? Hindi ko lang ba yan? May timing, oh. Remember, Dominguez Maturan won because of timing.
Oo nga.
Pwedeng part of it,
Okay.
pero I think, ano naman yan hindi.
Okay. Sige.
And the EBS issues kailangan dito.
Okay. Nato. Kinabukasan.
Ano komplikado eh.
It's complicated.
Sobrang komplikado po sobrang komplikado ang sitwasyon ito na kailangan talaga na sulayin natin mabuti ano ang galawan ng mga persons in power at siguro kami na lang huwag tayong magsawa na ipaglaban kung ano yung pinakamainam, pinakamabuti para sa interest ng mga Pilipino. Saan man yan po, sa Pilipinas, sa West Philippine Sea, sa international relations, ang ipaglaban po natin yung interest ng Pilipino, ng Pilipinas.
Okay. Yes, Professor.
Without the BFA, we have to move on as a nation. We stop thinking about that we cannot live without the BFA. We will live without the BFA. And even without the United States, we can also live without the United States. We have broader options now. Pero I want to share with you the thinking in the United States when we talk about the review of the Mutual Defense Treaty. We presented our US counterpart 3 options. Review, for purposes of amendment, scrap in order to come out with a new agreement, or refine-tune the Mutual Defense Treaty. You know, they got mad that scrapping the BFA is our option, one of the options, because for the United States, scrapping of the BFA is not their option.
Oh.
It's not their option.
Okay. Well,
So they will still be with us.
whether we like it or not.
Because they like us, they will not leave.
They like us, huh? They like to exploit us, sabi nila. Yes, well.
You know, my thinking is very simple. The future of the country will depend on who will be the next leader. If the leader has vision, he is committed to the country, committed to the people, he will always decide in the light of the best interest of the country and the people. So, dependent on who will be the next leader, whether it's before the elections of 2022 or after the elections of 2022, because everything is fluid. The situation in this country is fluid.
Okay.
And when that leader will emerge, then we will have a better Philippines. But if it's a traditional leader, like all the leaders before, with the exception of Marcos, ganun pa rin ang buhay ng Pinay.
Thank you. Senator Kit?
Well, I think, Melo, we owe your panel all the thanks in the world for making this morning very rich, not only information but in wisdom. I will join Bono in searching for the next leader. Unfortunately, I am now 80 and not qualified to compete. But
Age does not make any difference insofar as effective and purposeful leadership is concerned.
if nominated, I will
So-
decline.
Okay.
No, I welcome the remarks of Professor Romel here, no? That this provides us a window opportunity to redefine our position in relation to the US and the world. If the BFA is terminated and not replaced by anything else, the United States will not disappear. It will remain the global power in Asia and the world. And we will continue to have relations with the US. We'll have to redefine our relations. Now, China is growing, especially if the coronavirus is there. So this is really an opportunity to begin anew. So I do not take this as a real setback. It's an opportunity which we should explore and exploit.
Okay.
But this requires the skills of Dr. Carlos and others.
Yes. Okay. Very well. Professor?
Well, based on sa Senate hearings last week and also the discussions here and many interviews, I just wish Melo, that our decision makers would listen to scholars. Kasi ito po yung ginagawa namin bilang profesyon, magsaliksik at tumingin sa kasaysayan at mag-analisa. Kapag wala po kaming agenda, at pinapakita lang namin ang mga options available to everyone and their implications. So kung masusi ang sinabi na ng lahat around the table na napakagandang opportunity, this is really a great opportunity to review all our relations, as Senator Keith had noted, not only with the U.S. but also with the rest of the world. The US will be there, hindi nyo na po maiaalis na at tayo ay nakaharang nandyan sa Pacific Ocean at andyan na yung California, Oregon, etc. At nandito sa kabila natin, ang China. I'm sure kung we are located elsewhere in the world, ay wala nang pakialam ang Amerika sa atin, nagtitinda lang naman tayo dyan ng tako. No?
So kailangan natin si Mocha para mailipat yung Pilipinas.
Kaya, andyan, nakita nyo ba, tignan nyo yung mapa ninyo, Japan, South Korea, Philippines, tayo yung nakaharang dyan sa Pacific Ocean, di ba? Kasi kung wala tayo dyan, ay magsasalpukan ng China. At, so, we are not saying geography is everything, but yes, geography matters.
Okay. Mga kaibigan, in closing, ngayon ay Pebrero. In 2 days, Valentine's Day. Sa susunod na buwan, Marso. Beware the eyes of March. Tingnan natin. Yung remittances, kung titingnan ng Bangko Sentral figures, pinakamalaki mula sa Estados Unidos. Kung paano nangyari yun, nandun din yung pinakamaraming Pilipino migrants. So we'd like to find out how the government will handle the position today. Dahil sa isang option, kung talagang ayaw na, probably the good president can recall the Philippine ambassador to Washington and leave consuls to handle the events and affairs of Filipino nationals there. Pero wala ko nakikita sintomas na gano'n. But anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and our colleagues from the media for being with us in this special day. You know, ang problema ko ngayon, anong topic sa susunod na linggo? Mabigat ito.
Military viewpoint.
Military. Okay, we will have it then.
I'm sure yung active hindi yan
Hindi magsasalita.
Yung retired ang ano mo.
We'll get the retired. Okay.
Get Lorenzana.
We invited
Hindi siya.
We invited Secretary Lorenzana to this forum. Thank you. God